is here from Cincinnati, and he brought his son Joe. And so let's welcome them. Lisa West's sister is here, Tina Coleman, is that correct? Yes, welcome. That's great. Gautam Rao brought a friend named Nimoy Rao. Do I have it right? Great, right over here. Well, let's welcome him. Welcome to the Illustrious Clients. Liv Thompson's husband, Craig, usually comes as a guest, so we're welcoming him in that way. But he also just joined, so that's a great thing. That's a great thing. I also want to. I was also very glad to see. They're full-fledged members, but they come a long way. Let's welcome Rudy Altagot from Chicago, along with Bob Sharpton. Where are you? Where Bob is? I know I saw him. Oh, there you are. That's great. So it's always wonderful to see our distant members making an appearance at our Illustrious Clients. It's wonderful. So that's great. Okay, I have some announcements and we have some announcements and business to do. I want to announce the next planning meeting date, just get that out of the way. It's going to be next Sunday, a week from tomorrow at 2 p.m. on Zoom. And you'll be seeing numerous email announcements about that. It's important because we'll be not only talking about the Victorian dinner in January, but we're going to be talking about some initiatives for the coming year. And that's a big deal. And so I'm really hoping that as many of you as possible can attend that. So please attend. I want to make a statement about our RSVP policy. Pardon me? Oh, we don't have a microphone here, do we? Oh, I'm sorry about that. I want to talk about our RSVP policy. The RSVP deadline had been was typically like quite a ways out in front of the date of the meeting. We've pushed that back as close to the meeting as possible. My fear was that there were people who were unsure about RSVPing to something that soon out, but we have it moved back as close to the meeting as we can now. And therefore, but what that means is if you miss the RSVP deadline, you can't get in. We're giving you as much time as possible to RSVP. But flip side of that is the deadline. And there were a couple of people who contacted me well after the deadline had come, and I just said, I'm sorry, you had plenty of time, and I regretfully can't fit you in. So I do not like doing that. So be sure to RSVP in time. We're giving you as much time as humanly possible to do that. I also want to talk about, since it's the end of the year and we're coming to the beginning of a new year, I want to talk a little bit, remind you all about our Granger Fund. This is a fund to help, the philosophy of the Granger Fund is that my philosophy for this club is it's stronger and more robust and more vital when everybody who can attend can attend. And to that end, it's not entirely altruistic. To that end, it's important that we help that happen. And therefore, we have established the Granger Fund, which helps people who may have a financial pinch. It helps the cost of them attending a dinner. It's entirely anonymous. I don't know who applies for. I know it's being used, and that makes me very happy. But it's being used and it's helping people, and I love that. I don't know who those people are. All I know is it's getting used, but we have used it a bit, and so I'm just going to also remind you, if you need to use it, please use it. Please, but that's what it's there for. And if you are so inclined in this season of generosity to donate a little money to it, you can do that too. That's always welcome as well. I also, along the same lines, our annual dues are due for the coming year. You can see in our latest issue of the newsletter that we are, that these are due, the whole dues announcement is in there, and we'll be sending a separate email out about that as well. But your dues help fund the club's activities and help fund, we're a very active club, and we do a lot of innovative things. And a lot of it pays for itself, but not always, and therefore your dues help underwrite some of the activities and the opportunities that as a club that we enjoy. And so it's very important that you pay your dues. That goes for me too, because I'm usually the last person who gets around to do it. So I also want to make an announcement about, give you an update on our forthcoming Illustrious Clients third case notes. It has been retitled, not entirely. It's now entitled, You Know My Methods, Watson, and then the subtitle is The Illustrious Clients Third Case Notes. And Mark will back me up on this. It's not I think You Know My Methods, Watson is a great quote from Sherlock Holmes, and it's a little more, a little more inviting title to the reader. It's and also the from an entirely book publishing and selling mercenary aspect, it's a more inviting title to the casual reader as well. So just want to let you know that the plans are to have that debut January 7th in the dealer's room in New York City of PSI Baker Street Regulars weekend, and then appear the following weekend at the Victorian Theater. And you're all many of you are in it, so plan on that, and you will be able to get your book signed and just really relish that moment. It's a great moment. Yes. No. Not yet. We do have some business to attend to. It's an election. We had no contested seats. So everybody has agreed to stand for their office again, except for Elisa West, who is retiring as our newsletter editor. And that's a entirely fine. So we do have an open seat. And the only new person standing for election is Shelley Gage, who has stepped forward as volunteered to be our new Lomax in the coming year. And so, by the way, Shelley stepped in and got our December newsletter issue out. So that's a great thing. We're very grateful for that, Shelley. Thank you very much. But we need to make all of this formal. So since there are no contested seats, the entire slate, including our new Lomax, Shelley Gage, do I hear aye to reinstate this board of officers? Yeah, well, accepted. Aye. Okay, let's do it again. Aye. Are there any nays? No. All right. What? Oh. Yes. Alan.
They were voting in aye.
Oh, you're voting an aye. So it's unanimous. All right. The officers of the Illustrious Clients of Indianapolis are unanimously re-elected, and our new Lomax is unanimously elected too. So thank you, everybody. I do want to say this about our office. It's a lot of work to make these meetings don't just happen. And so it's a lot of work, and so there's a lot of gratitude to the officers from your illustrious client. So that's good. That's good. But our last piece of business is a really good one. Really good one. Here, got a little ahead of us. Our the highest honor that we bestow on individuals in this club is what we call the Northumberland. We don't give this out very often. You got to do something really important and really big to get this award. I think we've only given out like 5 or 6 And we're giving out another one tonight. So excited about it. So the Northumberland Award, the name comes from the original, originally in the original incarnation of the clients, the officers had different names. The Illustrious Client was not the Illustrious Client. He was the Northumberland. That was the 14-year-old teenage Jerry Williams picking that name. And it's, I think everybody kind of rolled their eyes and just kind of went with it. But it's a good word and it has a historical significance for our club. So we named this award after that, and we use that name. And tonight it is my great pleasure to bestow the Northumberland Award. This is it right here on Elisa West. And we're doing this in gratitude for all the years of work that she's done on the Illustrious Clients newsletter. I mean, it's a big job. I had it for a long time, and I know Mark had it for years. It's a lot of work, and it's a vital thing for our club. And so, thank you, Elisa. I'm going to bring this right over to you. 1 second. Ooh, that was the #1 thing I was looking forward to tonight. That's saying a lot. There's a lot of good stuff on this. Okay, great. All right. So the food's coming out here anytime. You've already got salads. I'm going to sit down and eat my salad. So we will get back to things shortly. So thanks, everybody. And just visit with each other. Thanks, Alan. Thanks. Thanks, you guys in the Zoom window. And I think you're still the only ones there. And we'll see you. We'll all be back soon. Andriaca. Hi, Steve. It's okay. Run by Dan Andriaca, who's also a member of the clients. And as you know, we've been doing a lot of kind of connected things with other clubs, and that's one of them. Anyway, I got home today and I thought, I'll have plenty of time to get ready. Well, I'm talking as loud as I can. So anyway, I forgot my gavel. So sorry about that. So on with the show. We're going to start with our first guest. Our first toast, a toast to the goose. I'd like to invite Andy Gage up to offer that toast. That's all the tickets. You got it. All right.
Okay. The fate of the goose was not fun. Stuffed, axed, and lost on the run. Left almost to rot, but thankfully was not, was at last enjoyed by Peterson. To the goose.
Oh, it's me. I'm next. Well, I would like to, okay. Well, here we go. Yeah, can I have your attention, please? It's a challenging environment tonight. Okay. Well, hold on a moment. I got this specifically for this toast. Okay, so.
All right, that's what you got.
Yeah, that's really the only reason. Okay, so it falls upon me to rise and lead us all in a toast to James Ryder, upper attendant at the Hotel Cosmopolitan. James Ryder, or should I say John Robinson? Oh, no. It's awkward to do business with an alias. Yes, James Ryder. Now you may be wondering, Steve, why would you toast this creep who put an innocent man in jail to steal a jewel? Good question. Yes, he was a creep, no doubt about it, a quivering, parched rimp of a man. Those are, by the way, just a few of the unflattering adjectives applied to Mr. James Ryder in our story tonight. But they are, to me, the key to being able to offer a toast to this, the prime motivator of our tale. Ryder was a dweeb. He was a quivering mass of insecurities and obviously a loser with the ladies, therefore a prime target for the manipulating likes of the worldly Catherine Cusack, maid of the Countess of Morcarth, owner of the valuable gem known as the Blue Carbuncle. On one hand, we have this dwarf who probably has never been out of London in his life. On the other hand, we have this well-traveled maid of the Countess who undoubtedly had accompanied her mistress around the world and had seen and heard a lot. Enough to want to steal from her employer and have a bit of that life in her own right. All she needed was a stooge like Ryder. How far did she go to work her wiles on this pathetic loser? We'll never know, but we can guess. Let's remember it was Christmas, and you know what that means, mistletoe. For God's sake, have mercy, he shrieked upon being found out. Think of my father, my mother. It would break their hearts. I never went wrong before. I never will again. I swear it on a Bible. Don't bring me to court. For Christ's sake, don't. I will fly, Mr. Holmes. I will leave country. Then the charge against him will break down. Finally, let's remember Sherlock Holmes's own point of view here. He let him go. I never went wrong before, and I never will again. As Holmes said, after all, it is the season of forgiveness, season of second chances. And therefore, raise your glasses to Mr. James Ryder.
Here, here.
Great. Yeah, I know. That's a tough one. Okay, we're gonna do a little Sherlockian show and tell. Did anybody bring anything they wanted to share with people or talk about? Now, my friends, I'm just gonna say this. Show and tell started in the Sherlockian universe with the Illustrious Clients. It has spread to other clubs in Chicago, in Cincinnati, in Royal Oak, Michigan, where like half the membership brings things to share and talk about with their friends. And yet here, we can do better things. We all have things personal to you that are important. So I'm exhorting you in the future, in our coming meetings, just look around. Is there something new you discovered that you would like other people to talk about? Yes, Anne.
Mine's all in storage.
Well, you are the only one who has an excuse. Mary Ann, yes. Well, I will. Mike,
You do?
I want to let me finish my thought on this subject. Now, I know. It does not have to be something grandiose. It just needs to be something that is of interest to you, because if it's of interest to you, I guarantee you it will be of interest to us. Right? So that's just my final words to the group about show and tell. Yes, Mike.
Talk loud.
It seems that the effect of Sherlock Holmes literature has crossed
It's
really blast.
Really
Okay. All right.
Good.
The Sherlockian world has attracted so many people from unusual walks of life, including science fiction and science itself. And I couldn't help but consult one of my favorite books because it's so small and I can read each page in about 3 minutes. Isaac Asimov's Sherlockian Limericks. And he has one for this story. I will shout it out. On the goose left behind, fat and fine, the Peterson family may dine. Then they find a large jewel. But can Sherlock be cruel? It's Yule, to forgive is to buy.
Nicely done, sir. All right. Mary Ann, were you raising your hand? No, somebody was. Bob, yes. You can do it from there, Bob.
Good, turn the camera around.
Well, I've been reading the camp. They told me that. we should not do that. I came across this volume of a book, one of the novels called Town of Disaster. Written by Doyle.
Who?
It's his uncle. And. Sorry.
No, you don't say it out loud. You just look at it.
Letter or first word? I got a first.
You like to call that.
Okay, we gotta turn the camera.
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to share? I do, but is anybody else? Yes,
Who owns that name?
this one? Oh, that's mine. That's mine. Yes. So,
You gotta show people.
oh, this is, oh, you can't see it.
And so.
So over here is, this is my show and tell.
Ah,
Not so much the goose. This is just the goose I have down from my library, just to represent Blue Carbuncle. My show and tell is the book. So here's the story of this book. You're all invited to come up like on a break or something to look at. You know, the Baker Street Irregulars are well known for publishing a lot of books. But the first book they published was this 1948, published by the Baker Street Irregulars, Inc. There was a whole thing going on in the 40s about incorporating the BSI for legal reasons and all these things going on. And part of the reason was they wanted to start publishing. And so someone's phone going off.
It might be up there.
I don't know. Is it outside? Well, anyway. I urge you all to silence your phones. So anyway, the BSI published one of the favorite stories of the BSI of Christopher Morley, who led the Baker Street Irregulars, was the Blue Carbuncle. And the argument was by Edgar Smith that this story should be ranked right up at the very top of the list of Christmas stories, along with, say, Dickens' A Christmas Carol. And I'm not quite sure, as I wrote in the newsletter, I'm not quite sure that I would put it at that same level, but it is a great Christmas story. So the BSI pulled out all the stuff. They put it in a slipcase with this beautiful cover, design on the cover, and they published the book. This is the book here. You see it. You're welcome to come up and look at it. It's here it is. Blue Carbuncle, Baker Street Irregulars, Inc., publishers, New York, 1948, published in Baskerville, the typeface of Sherlock Holmes. And they reproduced I'm trying to find one. They reproduced the illustrations by Sidney Paget in blue for some reason, because of the Blue Carbuncle, undoubtedly. Anyway, it's really a cool book. It's a nice little artifact, and it is the first book published by the Baker Street Irregulars. There really had not been a lot of Sherlockian publishing up to that time, but this is one of those copies, and that's my show. That's a little story. Okay, I would like to invite Ann Lewis to come up and offer a toast to Ann's here. Offer a toast to Peterson.
Find it now. I'm coming, hold on a second, trying to find my email. Find it, my.
I have to search for something, I'm sorry. There it is. Oh, no, I have two of them in here. Oh, really? How did I do that?
first draft.
No, can we come back to me?
Yes.
Okay, so I may have to email it to myself again, I'm sorry. Come back to me.
All right, we'll come back to Ann. So now we'll do split the pot. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna have two drawings because we have a bonus split the pot prize. You don't know about this, Susan, but we do. First drawing's the money. $59. Wow, that's pretty good.
Okay. So, it me, right? 8. 4. 6.
There it is, over here. Woo.
Way back there.
Okay, you're up. Okay, Ann Lewis. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. We'll do Ann's toast and then we'll do the second draw.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I accidentally deleted my own email to myself, so that was kind of weird. I'm like, hey, it was just there a second ago. Anyway, I don't know how many of you guys remember this, but a while ago, I did a presentation to the clients called Are You Smarter Than a Ninth Grader? How many of you guys remember this? We actually did kind of for those of you who are not here, what we did is we did a little mini story analysis, and I believe it was for the Barrel Coronet. Kind of looked at story structure and things like that. And I asked you guys questions that you would only remember if you were in ninth grade English class, or at least in my ninth grade English class, you would know it. But Peterson has a special role in this story for that. If you guys remember, and those of you guys who remember your ninth grade English, what part, actually, I won't ask you, I'll just tell you, okay, because it's not fair. When you have story structure, okay, there's something that happens that sets that whole story into motion and gets the whole plot going. Does anybody remember what that's called? Does anybody remember what it's called? Okay, it's called the inciting incident. The inciting incident. And Peterson is the inciting incident. He's the one that that comes running into me, because it's not the hat scene. We know it's not the hat scene. We know he comes in with the hat. I mean, we start out the story, he's already got the hat and everything else like that. The story only really takes off when Peterson comes running in the room and says, look what I found in its crop, even though he's wrong. It's not a crop. It was in the goose's neck. Geese don't have crops, but never mind. It was the inciting moment. So Peterson, not only he's the whole reason the story exists. Really, he's one of the more important things in this whole story. So he's the inciting incident. Now, I was trying to find a way to express that, but I decided to go ahead and write my own limerick. I don't know that I can compete with Mr. Isaac Asimov, but I'm going to try to do it. And, okay, can't find my one. Okay, so let me see how this goes. All right. A commissionaire named Peterson brought Sherlock Holmes a load of fun. A goose and a hat and a blue jewel that made James Ryder a near-con. To Peter's side. All right.
Okay, all right. So now, Susan, second drawing. But wait, before we draw it, what is the fabulous prize? It's your own Christmas goose.
Every bond sale?
No,
Oh, okay, it's not the one.
yes.
All right, let's see. Maybe I'll win this one.
All right, so it's gonna.
Okay, buy a ticket.
It was Mike McSwigan, guys.
Yeah. All right. Okay, great. Very good. All right. I'd like to invite Regina Stinson to come up and offer a toast to another colorful character in the story, Breckenridge.
Out the anti. Be loud. I'll do my best. Breckenridge owned a stall with geese in the Covent Garden Square. A horsey looking man, perhaps, but his fowl were beyond compare. He sold some geese to the Alpha Inn and figured that deal was done. Within a few days, however, he felt pestered by everyone. Where are the geese? Who got the geese? What did you sell them for? So vexed was he by a rat-faced man that he very nearly swore. Go ask the king of Prussia, he said. Now you get out of here. Cringing, the crestfallen creature scurried away in fear. But Holmes observed the pinkett along with Bender's looks and tantalized him with a wager that caused him to get out his books. These geese are country bred, Holmes bet, which proved to be no use. Holmes got what he was after all right, but Breckenridge got his goose.
Well done, Regina. All right, and now we'll take one more toast, then we'll take a quick break, and we'll come back. I'd like to invite Louise Haskett up to offer a toast to none other than Mr. Henry Baker.
Well, apparently it's the night for poetry because I too have written a poem. 'Twas the night before Christmas on the Tottenham Court Road. Henry Baker walked with a stagger, a goose was his load. He'd fallen on evil days, his curse was the drink, but the goose was amends to Mrs. Baker, I think. A small knot of roughs knocked the hat off his head. In defense, his stick smashed a window, much to his dread. Fearing the law, he took to his heels, dropping the goose, depriving his wife of a meal. Commissioner Peterson joined in the caper. He brought the dropped items to Sherlock, who put ads in the paper. Holmes studied the battered felt billycock and drew many conclusions. His deductions amazed Watson, who felt his normal confusion. Mr. Baker came round in response to the ad, wearing a Scotch bonnet, the only head covering he had. He was dressed in a coat buttoned up to his chin. A touch of red nose and cheeks may have hinted of gin. He was a large man with round shoulders and brown grizzled beard. A massive head and broad intelligent face were nothing to fear. He knew naught of the gemstone. He was merely a buyer in a goose club for which he could name the supplier. All his losses restored, he went on his way, leaving Sherlock to follow the clues he'd relayed. Mr. Baker, that tippler, missed out on this warning. Nothing good happens at 4 in the morning. Raise your glass to the hapless Henry Baker.
Well, if you have been paying attention this evening and have also been looking at your program, you will notice there has to be a record number of toasts this evening. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, great. We're taking a break. What time is it? I don't even know. It is 7:43. We're gonna take a 15-minute break. We will resume at 8 o'clock. So go to the bar, go to the bathroom, visit with your friends. And that's it. We're taking a break. We're taking a break. Taking a break. I can have you all take your seats. I assume you all visited the restroom or the bar or visited with your friends, but now it's back to the show. I would like to invite Lib Thompson up to offer a toast to Mr. Windigate and the Alpha Inn.
I'm gonna stand right here because I'm so stinking short, you won't be able to see me over the podium.
Oh, we gotta swap the number.
Right.
Sorry, hold on a second,
I got it.
there you go. There you go, you guys live.
Okay, I'm gonna stand right here because I'm short and I want to see over the podium. Now we have swimming pools and we have football pools, and if you can't hear me, Louise, turn your hearing aid up. But the Alpha Inn had a pool of geese. Now, some geese lay golden eggs and some geese drank wine. But Mr. Windigate's goose snatched a bonny blue stone and made the inn and him purveyors of stolen goods to the Alpha Inn and Mr. Windigate.
You're here.
All right, eating chocolate. We don't have a formal dessert at the dinner tonight, but we do have Hershey Kisses on your table, of which I am eating one right now. Okay, Pat Ward would like to offer a toast to Jack Horner.
I'm going to sit here because if I try to stand up, the meeting will be extended by at least a half an hour. One of the worst things that can happen to you is to look at something just before you're about to give a toast and realize you could have given a much better toast. And in my case, it's too little Jack Horner sitting in the corner, but that's all it will be. The Blue Carbuncle is a great favorite of many Sherlock. It does take place at Christmas time, 2 days after Christmas, but still within the 12 days of Christmas. It has themes of forgiveness, and redemption, and all sorts of things that make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. And it ends up pretty well for nearly everyone. Countess Morcar gets her gem back. Peterson, the commissioner, gets a nice reward. In that school, this the Holmes took it all for himself. And even if James Ryder is able to escape jail and perhaps go on to a better life. So, good ending for a lot of people. Poor John Morgan is sitting in a jail cell. He's there over Christmas. Quite what many film adaptations will tell you. They want to make the story even more warm because there's orders of this Christmas quarter. But he has to sit in jail over the Christmas. And his story so far has been one of redemption. Man who made a mistake, paid for it, is now in a good job, in a good position. Plumber, things are going well for him. Suddenly he's been knocked right out of the book. So I hope that this incident did not destroy his goodwill and his efforts to be a good man. So I give you, with hope, John Harden.
Well done, Pat. Yes, I do think that he's the character. He's the one character that sort of gets the short end of the stick of the story. That's too bad. Now, I would like to offer our last toast. I'd like to welcome Mary Ann Bradley to come forward and do the last toast of the evening to the Blue Carbuncle itself.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
My only wish is that I had been on the program before the cocktail hour. This is a toast to Blue Carbuncle. Friends, some incredible diamonds have been discovered in the world, many of them shrouded in mystery, and many of them blue diamonds. For a moment, let us ponder the Cullinan in the rough, weighing 3,106 carats. That's 1 pound, 6 ounces. The largest gem quality uncut diamond ever found, discovered in 1905 in South Africa.
and named after the mine owner, which was cut to create 9 major Cullinan diamonds and 96 smaller brilliants in all. From it was produced the Cullinan 1, also known as the Great Star of Africa, weighing 530 carats, and the Cullinan 2, also known as the Second Star of Africa, weighing 317 carats. Now, both part of the crown jewels of the United Kingdom. God save the Queen. And in the USA, housed at the National Gem and Mineral Collection at the National Museum of Natural History in Washington, we have the Hope Diamond. Originally a deep blue 112 carat stone, most likely from Golconda, India, which after several recuttings by a string of owners, now weighs 45 carats. And more recently, we even have the Taylor Burton diamond, gifted in 1969 by Richard Burton to his wife, Elizabeth Taylor, cut into a pear shape, weighing 69 carats, having been found in South Africa at a rough weight of 241 carats. Thinking more to our interest about the mentions of gems and jewels in the canon, including the Mazarin stone, a yellow crown diamond, and the Great Mogul diamond, and numerous other gems, including Mary Morstan's pearls. I have to mention Mary Morstan because that's my investiture in the Baker Street Regulars. All part of the Great Agra treasure. Let us always remember that diamonds are a girl's best friend. As one can certainly surmise is the case with the Countess of Morcar. As Holmes tells us in the story about the Blue Carbuncle, it's a bonny thing. Just see how it glints and sparkles. Of course, it is a nucleus and focus of crime. Every good stone is. They are the devil's pet bait. It was found in the banks of the Amoy River in southern China and is remarkable in having every characteristic of the carbuncle, save that it is blue in shade instead of ruby red. This 40 grain weight of crystallized charcoal. And so now, in honor of this magnificent work of nature, please join with me to raise your glass to salute the Blue Carbuncle.
That was terrific. Great, okay. Thank you so much, everybody who offered a toast this evening. That was really good. It was, toasts are kind of a shortcut to a quick reminder about the characters in the story and the plot points as well. So it's really wonderful. Okay, I would like to invite Shelley and Andy Gage to administer your quiz now.
All right. So
So wait. You have prizes per second.
all right, so starting with number 2 across, a very what and disreputable hard felt hat. Nobody? Not Dusty. No,
Dirty.
that starts with an S.
Battered, oh, sorry, S.
Seedy.
Seedy.
5 across, where was Ryder planning to take the goose? Kilburn, yes. 6 across, per Holmes deductions, Henry Baker had recently fallen upon evil days, yes. The hotel where the Countess was staying. Yes. 12 across, the Blue Carbuncle belonged to the Countess of Morcar. 15 across, it laid an egg after it was dead, the bonniest. 17 across, the road took place at the corner of Googe Street, yes. 18 across, location of Mr. Breckenridge's stall. Covent Garden. 19 across, John Horner was what? Plumber, yes. One down, the maid was Catherine Cusack. Three across, three down, location of the Goose Club. Alpha Inn. Four down, Mrs. Oakshott lived in 117 Brixton Road. Seven down, the Carbuncle is connected to two murders, a vitriol throwing, suicide, and several robberies. Eight down, on the first evening of the case, Mrs. Hudson served this woodcock. Nine down, Peterson is a questionnaire. 10 down is a question of cubic capacity, yes. 11 down, the inspector handling the original case. Brad Street. 13 down, the birds had what? Barred tails, yes. 14 down, Henry Baker uses what on his hair? Lime cream, yes. And then finally 16 down, how many tallow stains were on the hat? 5. We had 20 possible. Anybody have 20? 18? Anybody beat 18? Or match 18? Okay. So we got our winner. Anybody have 17? 16? 15? 14? We got a 14. All right. 13. Louise.
Okay, so we have some fabulous prizes. Wait, somebody dead? You get a picture of you guys up here? This is for our newsletter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should want this. Okay, here we go. And-
While I'm standing up here, anyone who has pictures of this evening, email them to Lomax so we can get them in the newsletter.
All right, here's the prizes, everybody. Regina, you get first pick. Okay, and, okay, we're here. This, woo, you get. Give a round of applause for the quiz. That was great. Well done, well done. Okay. And now I would like to ask Ann Lewis to come up and lead us in our Carbuncle carols.
Okay, our Carbuncle carols. I'm sure some of you have encountered these before because I have brought them out before. Those of you who are new to them, just to give you a little bit of background on it, Meredith Granger was a member of the Clients for many years. And he was always roping people into things. Sorry, he was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful guy. I loved him dearly. And I mean, everybody's, well, here's the thing. When he roped you into something, you loved it. You loved whatever he came up, because he had these wonderful ideas of getting people involved in the club. And that's why we named our Meredith Granger Fund after him, is to get people involved, to be participants, to actually bring some levity to the gatherings. He was always coming up with these fantastic ideas, like writing to the Queen to have her write to us to congratulate us on our anniversaries, you know, or writing to the Mayor of London or whoever, and they would send us letters. It was just like really amazing, the stuff that he came up with. When he passed away very suddenly, and we lost a dear friend. Now before that though, he wrote to me and he would, you know, he said, hey, I have these starts for some carols for the Carbuncle, and would you help how about we finish them? So we wrote these together. The nugget of a lot of these are from him. And, you know, we expounded on them, and these are the three that we have. So they were a wonderful gift to our club from him to us. So we're gonna sing a few of these. I'm gonna try to lead you in them. Because I don't want to take a whole lot of time because we have a story discussion coming up. So what I figured we could do is, let's start with the one's Oh Christmas Tree, Oh Carbuncle, which is the one that has Peterson on the side, on that side. You see Peterson giving him the stone. We'll sing just the first verse and the last verse. Okay, so we're gonna skip to the end. We're gonna just, no spoilers, we're just skip to the end. So that way, so first verse, last verse, we'll just keep it fun, okay? So it's like, oh, carbuncle.
Carbuncle, blue carbuncle, the costly and now dangerous. Oh, carbuncle, blue carbuncle, how costly and how dangerous. You do bring out the Western men, they steal and throw and slip and bend. Red carbuncle, blue carbuncle, they do it all over again. Blue carbuncle, James Ryder's game was up. Oh, carbuncle, blue carbuncle, James Ryder's game was up. Oh, the show, but in the end, let Ryder go. Red carbuncle, blue carbuncle, forgive a crime, but save the soul.
Okay, so we're gonna go with Stuff the Goose now. We're gonna flip it over. Stuff the Goose. When he showed me this one, I was like, I don't know if I can figure this one out. But just so we explain the second line, the fa la 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 la, it's folly. The word is folly. Instead of fa la 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 la, we're singing folly. All right. So Stuff the Goose. Oh, first and last verse. First and last verse. Yeah. Stuff the goose with
The blue gemstone, la 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 lee. I've been missing them you brought, la 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 lee. Mr. Breckenridge don't have it, la 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 lee. Ask him more, you have a thing, la 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 lee. When the season he showed mercy, la 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 lee. When he set James Ryder free, la 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 lee.
Yes. Now, the next one, a lot of people don't know the opening verse to White Christmas,
White
the
Christmas.
melody for it. So I don't mind singing that part for you. I'll sing that part, and then you guys come in on the chorus. Okay. You guys want to sing the chorus twice? We can do the chorus twice. It'll be a fun way to end this. So, home's fire is roaring, his pipes at hand. He studies a heartfelt hand, a forceps and lens nearby. When Dr. Watson drops by, but it's December the 27th, and Peterson's brought home a sparkly present.
I'm dreaming of a blue gemstone, pulled from a gleaming Christmas cross. With a warm felt derby, his eyesight blurry, and read to run. Oh, gee.
They are supposed to be it's true. But they Here, take her here.
Thank you so much. That was terrific. Thank you, everybody, for singing. That was great. That was terrific. Great. Super good. All right. Okay, now. Yes, toast to Ann Lewis for leading us in song. She's our musical director. Terrific. All right, now I'd like to turn this meeting over to Mike Schaefer, who will lead us in a very, what I think is going to be a very unique examination of the story. Mike, you're on.
Want me to put the picture up?
Yes, please.
On the screen, hold on, a second, I got to move it over. There we go. Can everybody see it? Can our people from remotely see it? I hope they can.
Yeah, good. It's got everybody in it.
Yeah, really speak up, Mike.
All right, as you see, little cards on each of your tables representing some of the key locations of the travel of the goose with or without the blue carbuncle in it. So we'll go to the Hotel Cosmopolitan. Can we hear from Countess Morcar or Catherine Cusack? Do they wish to make a statement?
I work my ass off with this family.
Say your character name.
I'm here. The maid.
Mary the maid.
Mary the maid.
Or
Catherine.
Are you Catherine? Catherine the maid. Okay.
All right. Catherine, are you guilty or not guilty for faking this scream at the direction of Mr. Ryder?
I did make the script and I was verbally shocked. But that man who thinks that the gangster.
Now you say that. All right, James Ryder, is he at that table? See, he's already on the run. He's got the rock. He's got the rock. He's on the run. He's going to see his sister on Brixton Road. Is Mrs. Oakshott there? Yeah. And what do you have to say for yourself in participation of this scheme?
I had nothing to do with the scheme.
All right, well, I think you're off,
can't see.
I think you're off the hook on that. You had no pre-knowledge of what would be in one of the piece, or weren't you a little suspicious that he was so insistent on having a lesser quality goose than the one you had prepared for him and which weighed 3 pounds more? All right. All right, let's go over to the Alpha Addendum. And is Mr. Windygate around to clear anything up? To you. Get nothing to do with nothing. All right, so we're going to cross through the intersection of Tottenham Road and Goodge Street, which is somewhere right out here on the floor. Does Henry Baker wish to make a statement?
That was cost my booze. My wife had stopped loving me. Y'all gonna did a great time. I had there's so many Henry Bakers in London. I mean, I'm not even unique.
All right, well, that's an interesting outlook on it. You're kind of claiming to be completely innocent of the whole thing. You just dropped that goose in the middle of a street and you expect people to want to put that on the table for Christmas dinner. It's laid out in the dirty streets of London. No? Well, now, the Petersons are the really lucky people here. Do you wish to thank anybody for getting a free goose Christmas?
I would like to thank the ruffians who accosted Peters or Henry Baker, made him drop the goose because we got the goose.
And I mean, you should be congratulated as a law officer of sorts, that you actually turned it in to Mr.
Well,
Holmes.
yes. Yes, the jewel, obviously, what am I gonna do? I showed the jewel. No, I took it to Mr. Holmes. And I'm quite happy with the reward. Thank you.
Well, has the reward really been decided? Who got it? Did the Countess put it up? Countess, how much money did you put up for that reward? I'm sorry.
How much money was the reward?
Well, who do you think should get it?
I should get it.
Found it. Peterson should get the reward.
So people are kind of shocked that you would only put up £1,000 reward. Surely you're richer than that, aren't you? Well, that's cruel. Yes. And now, I'm gonna set the jewel right here. I have to retrieve something here.
The robust immune system. The robust immune
Well, now we kind of come to the jewel is back with Sherlock and getting back to the Countess. But you what? Oh, yeah, I'll yell a little louder. Now we come to the point where the Blue Carbuncle has been recovered. It's in the possession of Mr. Holmes back at 221B Baker Street. But I'm sorry, did you have?
Skip Mr. Brackenridge. He had it.
Oh, yes, Mr. Breckenridge. Well, he was kind of his own worst enemy at keeping secrets, wasn't he? He was baited. He was baited. He was baited into giving everything to Sherlock. That's a marvelous
great.
maneuver. Now, so, all right. Looks like the Blue Carbuncle is on its way back to its rightful owner, but we've lost sight of one of the other persons who visited the Hotel Cosmopolitan. Now, if you look over here, you'll see the jail. And Mr. Horner, Do you wish to? Do you wish to make a statement?
That's it.
Okay.
Actually, sir, before you get going too far. You were actually. Praying. Okay,
Did you realize 2/3 of the time it's EU?
go ahead. Well, here's your opportunity to,
Well,
tell us how you're feeling.
this. I mean, I'm an innocent person. Okay, I did three things in my past. I've made amends. It's all set. Then I got a little squirt. The Morcar jam was not in its case, and the police were quick to chase. Bugger Jack Porter sat him in the corner without his Christmas pie. No one lifted even a thumb to acquit him on theft of that plum. He said, "What an innocent man am I."
Now, I will close this part with. Probably recognize Little Jack Horner, the Mother Goose Ride. And lo and behold, I'm shocked. The book that was an annotation that was published in 1961 or so. Did an annotation on it, but it didn't appear in the same author's later annotation of Sherlock Holmes. And I'm talking about the annotated Mother Goose by William S. Baring Gould. And
Sorry.
uh, for what it's worth, I found this in thrift books for $5. All right. Well, you know what, you know the rhyme. Little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating his Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy was I." Well, the name Horner is well known in the literary circles and historical people in England. Thomas Horner, during the reign of Henry VIII, was responsible in his particular area of England to go around and collect the deeds from all of the church monasteries, and bring them to Henry VIII. Except, and to keep the transportation secret, it was put within pastry so that no one would think to keep, they could get in and find out where these deeds are to keep Henry VIII from getting his mitts on. So this nursery rhyme is an allusion to that era back in 1500s, because particularly these lines, he put in his thumb, pulled out, he reached into the pies, and took out a deed. And that particular piece of property still today, since the deed didn't get sent to the king, it's now still in the name of the original family after 3 or 4 years. So I was just so delighted to stumble upon this book. And it's really, except for the dust jacket, it was pretty good shape. And that, my friends, I think we've really studied this story well tonight. And I appreciate Jack Horner sitting over there in the corner. So, that is all.
Great. Well, we were talking about the reward. And we were talking, I think you took my program their life.
Yeah, that's all.
No, he's coming.
So he's gonna.
My notes, thanks. Okay. We're talking about the reward. There's a thing online called the inflation calculator. They have one for every currency. £1,000 in British sterling. From like 1885. Is today worth $151,866. So that was not an insubstantial. £1,000 was a lot, a very lot of money. And so. Doesn't sound like a lot nowadays, but nothing sounds like a lot nowadays. But it was a lot of money in Victoria. Just thought I'd share that with you because I was curious. So that actually is, this was a very long list of activities, and yet we have plowed right through them tonight. It's really quite wonderful. So we're right at the end of our program. I just want to remind you all that our planning meeting is next Sunday on Zoom at 2 p.m. Be seeing an email going out. It would be quite wonderful to see as many of you there as possible. We have lots of time to talk about it. I also just want to say thank you for coming. This is concluding our calendar year, and it's been quite a year. And because it's the Christmas season, and consider you all my friends, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. And that's it. I'm going to invite Melanie Hoffman to come up and read 221B to close out our meetings.
$221B by Vincent Sterrett. Here dwell together still two men of note, who never lived and so can never die. How very near they seem, yet how remote, that age before the world we call life, but still the games afoot for those with ears attuned to catch the subdued old. England is England yet, for all it fears. Only those things the heart believes are true. A yellow fog still past the window pane at night descends on the stable street. The lonely hansoms flashes the rain. The ghostly gas lamps fail at 20 feet. Here, though the world explodes, these two survive. And it is all.
Compliments of the season to everybody in the room, and have a great holiday season. And we will see you all in January at the Victorian Dinner. So thank you, everybody.